I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
Hey girl, as a Texan from a cattle ranching family now living in Florida, we did. We cared about y'all so much. That's why we told y'all for so long. Gosh, I've been screaming it for, I don't know, since at least, I don't know, the Tea Party. 08, 09. We broke it down, Project 2025, over and over. Y'all didn't listen. So now my only responses is first, bless your fucking heart. Second of all, this is what you voted for. So they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Does anybody care about Nebraska? That's the question that's going around TikTok right now. And to that, I respond with two questions. Did Nebraska care about anybody else? And does Nebraska care about Nebraska? Because you see, God helps those who help themselves. And when you Nebraskans walked into the voting booth and overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump to be president, and now you're feeling the effects of that, this isn't I told you so. This is an FAFO. And I know there are Nebraskans out there that voted for Kamala Harris and did not fall into the trap of Donald Trump. Unfortunately, there were not enough of you. And now the rumors, and I'm having a hard time substantiating some of this, but the vibe that's going around is that Nebraska basically looks to be bankrupt in about 6 months because of the undocumented migrants that are being deported, or just the fact that undocumented migrants make up a large portion of their state and workforce on the farms. And they're not showing up to work because they're now afraid they're going to be deported. So Nebraskans, especially farmers in Nebraska, did you think any further than the front of your face? Did you think any further? Or were you just blinded by hate? And now people are coming out here asking, what about Nebraska? Do you guys care about Nebraska? No, I've already answered it, but the short answer is no. No, we don't. We don't care about Indiana, where I'm from. We don't care about Kentucky losing their bourbon up in Canada. We don't care about Jack Daniels in Tennessee. We don't care about the auto industry in Michigan. Are we all going to feel this? Yes, it's going to hurt. The disruptions in the food supply from Nebraskan farmers is going to hurt everybody. We are not immune, but we can't care. We can't care. We have no more sympathy to give. You guys had a chance. We spent our time telling you, talking to you, talking at you because you wouldn't listen. You decided to vote for Donald Trump, and here he is undoing your entire workforce. And when you lose your family farm of 150 years to a private company who's going to buy up all the land when you guys can't pay your bills, that's the state of America we're going to be in because you decided to vote for hate over the rest of the country and your own good. You cut off your nose to spite your face. So Nebraska, we don't care. God helps those who help themselves, and you decided you didn't want help.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lusmini and I'm excited to have you here. In today's video, we look at the Nebraskan support for Trump and how Trump's immigration policies is affecting the Nebraskan farmers. Nebraska is one of the strongest Republican states in America. In past elections, the state has consistently supported Donald Trump, backing his promises to bring economic growth and stricter immigration policies. Many ranchers and farmers in Nebraska believed that Trump policies would benefit them by cutting taxes and protecting their businesses. But the policies are now causing serious problems, especially when it comes to labor shortages. Let's listen to a few videos on the same issue and I'll be back with my commentary. Kindly consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any trading topics.
So the big question on TikTok right now is, does anybody care about Nebraska? Super quick. Is this y'all? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off this early. So first of all, no one.
Nebraska is not too happy right now with what's going on in politics. And they're overwhelmingly supported President Trump. But a lot of them now are saying they made a mistake, that a lot of their farms and ranches are looking to not be able to survive because they've lost a lot of their workers, which happen to be a lot of illegal immigrants. Some are getting on Facebook and other media sites and saying that within so many months, they're going to be bankrupt. There's one person that said 300-year-old family ranch is going to go under. 300 years old, that means 1725, there was a private ranch, family ranch out in Nebraska. I wonder what the Native Americans thought about that. Yeah, that doesn't make no sense. But a lot of them are saying, we didn't realize that it was going to do this to our state and our economy. Y'all are playing out there. You know exactly what you were doing. And then you bit yourself in the toe. And it's not good. But I'm wishing y'all the best of luck. I hope your state don't go bankrupt. Maybe all the money that President is taking from Illinois, not paying us, maybe he can give it to y'all since you voted for him. I don't know. Just a quick idea. Call up Doge. Or why don't y'all get out there and do the work yourself? Get up there and get to those fields. Curious. All right. Or maybe pay $5 million and you can get some of them immigrants back on that farm. Right? Have a good day. And best of luck to Nebraska. Bye.
All right, Nebraska, this one's for you. See, what you did was, you voted for a man on lies. Now, that same man, we already know, he don't like to pay for his bills. They told you that over and over. You got cities that he still owe money to. You got places that have shut him down because of the way that he didn't pay his bill. There's places that he can't go back to because of the way he didn't pay his bills. And when you signed that piece of paperwork, that contract with Joe Biden, he was a man of his word. But then you elected 70% of you farmers elected to put the man in who does not keep his word instead of actually dealing with half of the administration that was running, again, who not only gave you those contracts, but are known to keep their word. So while you were out voting against the people who work for you, that are undocumented, that you feel are living off the government and getting welfare, you too found out that you were part of the welfare queen section, because if it wasn't for the federal government bailing you out and giving you extra stuff to improve what you have, because you must have forgot the federal government was making money off of you. USAID, yeah, you made some money off of it, but the government did too. So righteously, they're just giving you a piece of what you have already contributed to the country. Again, you found out you were just as much of a welfare queen as the undocumented people that you had working for you. Now that they're not coming to work and the work's not being done, and some of you got loans out there that need to be paid. How about this? How about you do like your man, and don't pay the bill. See what happens. Well, that's what you asked for. So what do you want us to do about it? There's nothing we can do about it. Good luck.
One of the key promises of Trump's administration was to crack down on illegal immigrants. Many Nebraskan voters supported these policies, hoping that they would improve job opportunities for American citizens. However, the state's agricultural industry heavily depends on immigrant workers, many of whom are undocumented. These workers take on physically demanding jobs that many Americans are unwilling to do. They work long hours in difficult conditions, ensuring that Nebraska's farms and ranches remain productive. With stricter immigration rules and increased deportations, many immigrant workers have left Nebraska. As a result, ranchers and farmers now face a severe labor shortage. Without enough workers, they are struggling to keep up with daily operations. The lack of cheap labor is forcing some businesses to shut down because they cannot afford to hire Americans working at higher wages. The impact of these labor shortages is becoming clearer as more Nebraska's ranchers face bankruptcy. Now, with fewer workers and higher costs, many farmers are unable to maintain their businesses. Some have been forced to sell their land, and while others are taking on massive debts just to stay afloat. The dream of running a successful farm is becoming a nightmare for many families. For decades, Nebraska's agricultural industry has relied on immigrant labor. Without them, farms cannot operate fully. Many of the ranchers who fought for stricter immigration policies are now the ones suffering the most from their vote. They believed that cutting down on illegal immigration would benefit their businesses, but instead, they have been left without the workforce they desperately need. In adding to the problem is the freeze on agricultural grants. Federal grants and support programs have traditionally helped farmers invest in new technologies, buy equipment, and improve their operations. However, under recent policies, many of these grants have been paused or eliminated. Without financial assistance, ranchers and farmers are struggling even more. As Nebraska's agricultural industry faces these challenges, consumers across the country are starting to feel them. With fewer workers available to harvest crops and take care of the livestock, food production is slowing down. This leads to a decrease in supply and an increase in prices. Meat, dairy, and other farm products are becoming more expensive, putting a strain on America's families. What started as a crisis for Nebraska ranchers is now affecting grocery stores across the state. Another major blow to the Nebraskan farmers is the slashing of subsidies. Agricultural subsidies have long been a safety net for farmers, helping them to survive during tough times. However, recent cuts on these subsidies have made it even harder for the ranchers to recover from their financial struggles. Nebraska ranchers now find themselves in an impossible situation. They need workers to keep their farms running, but the strict immigration policies they once supported has driven those workers away. They need financial assistance, but grants and subsidies have been cut. They need stable prices, but labor shortages driving the cost of living higher. The very policies they believed would strengthen their businesses is now threatening to destroy them. As bankruptcy continues to rise and farms shut down, many ranches are left not knowing what the future holds. Some are calling for changes to the immigration policies, recognizing that immigrant labor is essential to Nebraska's economy. Others feel betrayed by politicians who promised prosperity but delivered handshake. The once strong support for Trump's policies is beginning to crack as reality sets. This situation serves as a harsh lesson in cause and effect. Political decisions have real-world consequences, and the people who vote for them are not always prepared for the outcomes. Nebraska ranchers now face the challenges of rebuilding their businesses in a state where labor is not available. Financial support is disappearing and consumer prices are rising. The question remains, will they push for change or will they continue to suffer under the weight of their own choices? That's it for today's video. If you find this information helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.